Hello, faculty. This is about Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck, which is a ban/challenge type of book. So you have schools who want to ban the book due to its themes, and you have other members wanting to challenge that book and keep it around for a while. Now, this story is about two migrant workers by the name of Lenny and George. They're working to find work during the Great Depression. So, Lenny and George have this dream that you call the American Dream, which is basically wanting better than what you already have. They have this big, grand dream of owning a farm and having this sense of independence and self-sufficiency in their lives because they've grown up in poverty. They don't know any better, and they've had to fight their whole lives to even just stay alive. So in this story, they use stereotypical type of characters. One's strong and the other who's slow and disabled. So the controversial aspects of this book is the usage of derogatory terms such as the N-word, which is typically used when African Americans are talked about in a bad light. The idea in this story is that it is all about the judgment based off of anyone or anything during the 1930s. Another controversial aspect of the book is the idea of ableism, which is being against disabled people. The story tended to make fun of Lenny because he was disabled. With this being against disabled people and them being treated differently, it not only causes physical issues but mental issues as well. These disabled people feel as if they already need help with everything in life already, so why make it worse? When you degrade disabled people such as Lenny, it can really show what kind of person you really are. The book is controversial. It has been banned because of the vulgar language and treatment of people, racism, and how women are treated in this selection. The ALA, their stance on the aspects of the books that are controversial, is that it emphasized the racist attitude of the 1930s. The uses of violence in Lenny, by him not knowing his own strength, he killed Curly's wife by just petting her hair. He pets her hair and grabs it forcefully on accident because he doesn't know his own strength, which tended to be an issue throughout the story, such as he loved petting mice and he would end up squeezing them so hard that he would kill them. That tended to be a big issue in this story. Let's see. So it also entailed social injustices, racial slurs, violent imagery, and vulgar language. This book was mainly banned due to it not being age appropriate based on all those aspects causing the story to be controversial. The book was banned in many schools due to that factor. Just the whole idea of the violence behind the story and the language they used tended to be very vulgar and the story is very in-depth when it describes what's happening. The book also had a bunch of racial discrimination, especially using, like I said, the N-word. The ALA does say that it should be read, and it outweighs all the social issues that are involved. The story just has a lot of complex themes, and it's hard for a younger reader to understand. The story should be for more mature viewers to view, but it's still a banned or challenged book based off of that. But I do think there should be a warning in the book. in regards to the theme and the language used, even if it is age appropriate in my collection. But I think if it wasn't age appropriate, you should make the story age appropriate for your collection. Just the whole idea of this story is very real. It's not just make-believe and they're, fighting for their lives for no reason. At the end of the day, they just want to have a normal life, and it's hard for Lenny already as a disabled person. And George is like the brains behind this whole operation of how they're getting this American dream that they've always dreamed of. And the English language department is right for choosing that as the right age for this collection of books. It does have a lot of critical thinking in the nature of this story, but don't let that alarm you. And this title is available in my library because it helps kids have a deeper understanding behind the literature. It's not just a story you can just sit there and read and understand it all. You have to have a full, I guess I would say, a historical background behind the meaning of the story, if that makes sense. I chose this book because I felt as if it having those mature themes could really help readers have more knowledge and just be more, I guess you could say, developmental, and have just a different type of story to understand and to not shy away from those type of books. And for this English language arts department, it can be appropriate for a novel study, but it has to be given to the right kid. Not just the age, but the actual kid. Because some kids are more sensitive and they might not understand the story, and they might take the story and flip it in a different way, and it might not make sense. Or you may have a disability like Lenny, and you struggle to understand even reading in general. So it's just going to depend on what the kid understands in the story. And it's just very in-depth. It's hard to give to children, under the age of 14, I would say. And, PBS and the ALA are stating that there's a lot of violence and vulgar themes and a lot of language that I think just comes from where they were raised. They're not used to the happiness of life. They're used to basically nothing. They're used to having nothing. And now they're turning it into something. It's controversial because it's describing that you never know what you're going to get in your life. It's just the whole idea of wanting the American dream, as I say, brings the reader into their shoes and lets them understand the story better. And it's a story that should be talked about based on that theme with the American dream. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed that talk, and thank you so much. This is Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. It is a challenge/banned book.